So let's talk about Clipper Mine. This is like, people know there's gold mining activity in Esther, but you would not know that there's a little cabin up on the hill, and from the Arctic entryway is an 800-foot tunnel into the hillside, which is a hard rock mine, which your dad created back in the day and then produced for decades, and then you guys took over, right? What led him to do that? What came first, the mine or the house? And then how did he, what did he produce over the years?
Well, he was working here in Esther for the FE company, and he built a little house right here next to Ansgar's. I don't know, 1935, you think? Somewhere, it's still here. And anyhow, he'd go up on the weekends and help these old timers work a hard rock up there. And he had been going to school at the University of Alaska in mining engineering, and so he's very much interested in the hard rock aspect, So he helped him, and they just got too old, like George and I are getting right now. And it's a young man's sport, And so he bought him out and went up there and started to drift into the hill. They were actually working above, and they were running a drift right where the cabin is, and they were trying to connect into that vein to go under it and get the ore out that way, gravity. And anyway, they just ran out of steam, and so he bought them out and built a cabin there and drifted in there and intersected their. He actually got into their old workings at the end, but when the price of when the war broke out during World War II. You couldn't nobody could mine anymore in Alaska. They closed, so you couldn't get powder, so he was done. He shut down, closed her down, and went to town and went to work for the Road Commission.
You get an air compressor and you drill a hole, and then you load it up with dynamite and you get the hell out of the tunnel, and you cut all the fuses at different lengths and hope the same number go off that you put in there. And then that's how you create a tunnel. And then my dad in the start did some single jacking when they didn't have enough money for an air compressor. You just a piece of steel and a sledge, you turn it as you hit it to create that hole.
Did you not use more than 10 fuses so that you could count?
Normally we used about 9 for a face, a working face, where we could push the ore car and stand around a little bit. We didn't have, it's not very wide. You don't have, if you derail, you got a hell of a time getting out of there with the loading the bucket and the ore bucket.
We used everything that he had, and it worked wonderful. They've got this technology now through NASA that you could just take a thing you can hold in your hand. Used to be, it was the size of a room, but they've condensed it down to your hand, and you can point at a rock, and it'll tell you the percentage of whatever you want that's in that rock. Wow. And Fort Knox has that ability now. They can go on their face and shoot this thing on the face, and they know what the values are on everything in there. So it's amazing what the technologies have taken place, and so it's really opened up prospecting in the future, so the mining continue on for people.